In the year 4024, the world as we know it had transformed into a dystopian wasteland, a dark shadow of its once vibrant self. The skies perpetually overcast with the ash of the countless fires cast a gloomy pall over the land. Buildings once proud and tall lay in ruins, their skeletal remains poking through the dense fog like bones of a long-forgotten beast. Humanity, or what was left of it, survived in scattered enclaves, eking out a meager existence from the barren land. Technology, once the beacon of hope and progress, had turned against its creators, leaving behind only rusted relics of a forgotten age. The cities, once bustling hubs of activity, were now ghost towns, haunted by the echoes of the bygone era. In the heart of this desolation, there was one city that stood out from the rest. It was known simply as the Zone, a place where the brave or foolish ventured in search of forgotten treasures or forbidden knowledge. The Zone was a labyrinth of decaying buildings, twisted metal, and dark secrets. It was said that the very air within its boundaries was cursed, poisoned by the sins of the past. At the center of the Zone lay an old research facility, a monolithic structure that towered over the surrounding ruins. It was here that the downfall of humanity had begun, with experiments too horrific to imagine. The facility was a maze of laboratories, containment cells, and research chambers, each holding its own tale of terror. One such tale was that of Subject Zero, the first and most terrifying creation of the facility's twisted minds. Subject Zero was rumored to be an amalgamation of a man and machine, a living weapon with no conscience or remorse. It was said that it still roamed the halls of the facility, a guardian of the horrors within. The air in the Zone was thick with the stench of decay and whispers of the damned. The ground was littered with the remnants of the bygone age, rusted vehicles, broken electronics, and the bones of those who had ventured into the Zone that never returned. Despite the dangers, there was those who dared to enter the Zone, driven by desperation or greed. They were scavengers, hunters of relics from the old world, willing to risk their life for a chance of a better future. But the Zone was unforgiving, and few who entered its confines ever emerged. One such scavenger was Mara, a young woman with haunted eyes and a will of iron. She had entered the Zone in search of medicine for her ailing brother, venturing deeper into its heart than any had dared before. Her journey was fraught with peril, from the treacherous terrain to the creatures that lurked in the shadows. Mara's path eventually led her to an old research facility, the heart of the darkness within the Zone. She entered its foreboding walls, her every step echoing through the empty corridors. Inside, she found horrors beyond comprehension, remnants of experiments that defied laws of nature and man. As she delved deeper into the facility, Mara began to realize the true extent of the atrocities committed there. She found chambers filled with grotesque hybrids of flesh and metal, creatures born of madness and despair. And in the deepest bowels of the facility, she found Subject Zero. Subject Zero was unlike anything Mara had ever seen, a nightmare made flesh. It was a towering figure, its body a patchwork of man and machine, its eyes glowing with a malevolent intelligence. Mara knew that she was in the presence of a monster, a being that embodied the darkest depths of human ambition. In that moment, Mara understood the true nature of the Zone. It was not just a physical place, but a manifestation of humanity's hubris and folly. The Zone was a reminder of what happened when man played God, a warning for the future. Mara faced Subject Zero, not with weapons, but with words. She spoke of the world outside the Zone, of the people who still clung to hope and possibility for a better future. She spoke of her brother and the love that had driven her to this forsaken place. To her surprise, Subject Zero listened. In its eyes, Mara saw a flicker of understanding, a glimmer of humanity that had once resided within. In that moment, she realized that Subject Zero was not just a monster, but a victim of the same hubris that had destroyed the world. With a heavy heart, Mara left the facility, leaving Subject Zero behind. She emerged from the Zone with more than just medicine for her brother. She carried with her a newfound understanding of the past, and a determination to build a better future. The world of 4024 was a dystopian wasteland, a testament to the folly of man. But in the hearts of those like Mara, there was still hope. Hope for a world reborn from the ashes, a world where the mistakes of the past would not be repeated. As Mara trekked back through the desolate landscape of the zone, her mind was filled with thoughts of change and renewal. She realized that the key of humanity's survival lay not in the relics of the old world, but in learning from its mistakes and moving forward. Mara's return journey was perilous, but she was driven by a newfound purpose. She encountered other scavengers and shared her story, spreading the message of what she had witnessed within the depths of the old research facility. Her tale of the encounter with Subject Zero, a being both fearsome and tragic, served as a powerful reminder of consequences and unchecked ambition. Upon reaching her enclave, Mara's brother was treated with the medicine she risked so much to obtain. His recovery was slow but certain, and as he regained his strength, Mara shared her experience and the insight she had gained. Her story became a beacon of hope in the Enclave, inspiring others to look beyond their daily struggle for survival. Word of Mara's journey and the truths she had uncovered in the zone began to spread among the scattered enclaves of humanity. People started to come together, sharing resources and knowledge, working towards rebuilding a society grounded in cooperation and respect for the planet. Mara became a leader in this new movement. She advocated for a balance between using the remnants of old technology and respecting the natural world. The enclaves began to form a loose federation, focusing on sustainable living, community building, and preserving the lessons of the past. Years passed, and the world of 4024 slowly began to change. The fog of despair lifted, and in its place grew a sense of purpose and hope. The enclaves thrived, developing new ways of living that were in harmony with the environment. The scars of the old world remained, but they served as reminders rather than shackles. In time, Mara organized an expedition to return to the zone, not to scavenge, but to document and learn. The group included scientists, historians, and even artists, all united in their mission to understand the past and ensure a better future. Upon entering the zone again, Mara felt a strange sense of coming home. The place that had once represented humanity's downfall now stood as a testament to its resilience. The expedition explored the ruins, uncovering artifacts and data that shed light on mistakes of the past. As they approached the old research facility, Mara felt a mix of apprehension and curiosity. The building, now silent and overgrown, was a stark contrast to the hive of dark activity it once was. Inside, the team found remnants of the experiments, but no sign of Subject Zero. It seemed that the creature had vanished, perhaps finally finding peace or succumbing to the passage of time. The team left the zone with valuable insights and a renewed commitment to their cause. Mara's journey had come full circle, but she knew that this was just the beginning of a long road ahead. She had ignited a spark of change, one that promised to grow into a flame of hope and renewal for the entire world. The year 4024, once a symbol of despair, was now a beacon of hope. Humanity had learned from its past and was slowly carving a new path, one of understanding, unity, and respect for the world they inhabited. In this new era, the dystopian wasteland was transforming, giving way to a future where the mistakes of the past would guide the steps to a wiser, more compassionate humanity. As Mara's new world began to flourish, an ominous shadow loomed over the horizon. Deep within the desolate remains of the zone, Subject Zero, the embodiment of technological terror, had been silently amassing an army. This army, a nightmarish legion of cybernetic horrors, was forged from the remnants of old world technology and driven by a singular chilling purpose: to extinguish the fledgling flame of hope that Mara and her people had kindled. The first indication of this looming threat came as a series of swift, devastating strikes on the outer settlements. These attacks were ruthless and efficient, leaving smoldering ruins and pall of fear in their wake. Mara, once a beacon of hope and resilience, faced a dire situation. Despite her efforts to unite the people and prepare for defense, the might of Subject Zero's army was overwhelming. These mechanized monstrosities, devoid of fear or mercy, advanced with relentless precision, dismantling everything in their path. With each passing day, the situation grew more desperate. The enclaves, once symbols of a new beginning, fell one by one. Mara and her closest allies mounted a valiant resistance, but they were fighting a losing battle against an enemy that seemed inexhaustible and implacable. The final stand took place in the heart of what had been the most prosperous and vibrant of the enclaves. Mara, alongside the remnants of her forces, faced Subject Zero and its legion in a battle that would decide the fate of humanity's last survivors. The conflict was cataclysmic. The air was filled with the sounds of combat, the clash of metal, the cries of the fallen. Mara fought with ferocity born of desperation, but it was not enough. Subject Zero, a towering titan of metal and malice, was an unstoppable force. As the battle raged, it became evident that there would be no victory against this relentless tide of destruction. Mara, in a final act of defiance, confronted Subject Zero, knowing that she could not defeat it, but determined to face the end with courage. In the end, the Enclave fell, and with it, the last hope of humanity's resurgence. The world, once on the brink of a new dawn, was plunged back into darkness. The machines led by Subject Zero roamed the barren landscapes, masters of the world devoid of human life. The legacy of Mara and her dreams for a better future became a distant, faded memory, lost in the winds of the world reclaimed by desolation and despair. The story of humanity's rise and fall became a forgotten echo, a tale of the brief flicker of hope exhausted by overwhelming darkness of a creation turned destroyer. And so, in this alternate bleak version of the future, the world lay in ruins, a testament to the potential consequences of human ambition and the fragile nature of hope amidst the overwhelming tides of despair. Subject Zero, the architect of this final downfall, stood as a somber reminder of the perils of unchecked power and the indelible mark of humanity's technological legacy. Thank you for listening to Subject Zero. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a like, and if you enjoy hearing stories from me, please subscribe and become a resident of Hill Street, and let me know how I'm doing in the comments. And I hope all of you have a fantastic night.